Hello, beautiful being. What is up? My name is Jeanette, the creator of the How to Be a Healthy Raw Vegan 6-week course. And today, I just spit. I was trying to be cute and professional. It didn't work. But today, I am going to be going live with my friend Matt. What's up, everyone? How are you doing? Hi, Boo. Hi, Sherry Boo. I see you. Okay, so I made it through the intro without cursing, so Sherry will be happy and proud. I want to say thank you so much for joining me. So we're going to be going live every single Saturday at noon. I am really excited. What's up, Car Yours? I appreciate your comments, love, and support. I appreciate you. So, oh, Matt's here. Oh, amazing. I didn't even see him come in. Okay, so let's bring... Okay, perfect. Everything is perfect. Okay. Hey.
Hey, what's up?
What's up, bro? I gotta adjust the camera. I'll never... How do you do it? You have a tripod, Matt?
Yeah, I got a tripod.
It's just easily adjustable? Okay.
Yeah. What do you use?
I use a weird little thing. It's not a tripod. It's like a... I don't know. It's not supposed to be for a phone. Okay. So... We are good. And as you can see, Matt, I have a fancy situation focus filter thing in the back.
I like it. I like it.
Oh, I know you don't know how to do that. No.
No.
Okay. So Matt and I are going to be... Thank you so much, Matt, for joining me.
Anytime.
I'm really excited to start this show because there's a lot of topics that I want to cover and that I want your advice and opinion on. Everyone, the format of this show will be, the first 30 minutes will be one particular topic, and we're open to ideas. So DM me or Matt if you have any topics that you'd like us to cover. The second half of the show, so I have a little timer here, and I'll flip it over in a minute. And so the second half of the show will be Q&A. If you have any questions, DM us throughout the week or DM me. And I'll keep them in a notepad. Matt's busy, so I'll do the questions, but also leave it down below in the questions section if you have any questions. Matt and I are two very special beings, honestly, because we've both been on a raw vegan journey for the exact same time, 11 years, which is pretty rare. You know, Matt, I'm like being attacked by the carnivores, and they tell me in a few months I'm gonna regret it.
I've been hearing that for the last 11 years. So.
And I'm like, wait, is it coming? When is it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I appreciate you taking your time to step away from your fans and hang out with me for a little bit.
Yes, I don't want to forget about the little people that I know. So I try to keep it real. Okay, so today's topic, guys, and we're gonna get right into it because I don't like small talk, and I think Matt agrees. Like, there's no time for that.
Totally.
I don't care how Matt's doing. Matt, you want to change the world?
How's the weather in Florida?
Fuck that. Oh, I tried, Matt. I couldn't do it. Okay, so I curse sometimes. Sorry, guys, but I'm from New York. Matt's a little better. He's from Minnesota.
Minnesota, yeah.
Yeah, they're a little nicer there, I would say. Closer to that. So we're going to talk today about the 7 stages of disease. And I'm very passionate about this topic, especially because you don't learn this. Doctors don't learn this in medical school, and it's not their fault. Matt and I'm going to speak for Matt. I'm just going to speak for Matt the whole hour. Matt and I have more time than doctors to do our own research. Okay, so we're not better than doctors. We're just researching different things. And I know that I have been passionate about health for the last 20 years, honestly. Matt, when did you, again, remind me, what age did you start your health journey?
About 17 or so. I didn't get into the raw vegan stuff until 25, so. Yeah.
And how old are you now?
I'm 35.
Okay, 35. So,
almost 36.
There you go. So, and I'm 37, just so everybody knows. So, the 7 stages of diseases, let us go through them, Matt, and we're going to see the viewers let's see if you are in any one of these stages. Now, before we begin, stage 1 through 4, very easily reversible. Okay, and Matt, I'm going to ask Matt like some different questions about how we can start to do that. Stage 5 through 7, okay, so, you know, 7 is the C word. Stage 7 of disease is cancer. So we're trying to prevent getting to stage 7, okay? So once you get to stage 5, 6, and 7, quite difficult. It's doable, okay? Clearly, right, Matt? I mean, have you seen people recover from stage 7 cancer?
Yeah, a lot of people. You know, mostly online, you know, just seeing people's stories, talking to people. I've never personally worked with a coaching client through that process, but I've known, you know, many people just through my networking online, being in this lifestyle, that have overcome that. And yeah, it's definitely doable.
Definitely possible. I mean, Louise Hay, one of my mentors, reversed her stage 4 breast cancer, okay, without any chemo or radiation or mainstream treatment. And there's so many, like Matt said. Okay, so let's begin. Stage 1 of the 7 stages of disease is innervation. Okay, so innervation is when you're tired all the time. If you're watching this and you're tired all the time, that is the beginning of disease. And so what I want to ask Matt is, what can you please talk about the dangers of suppressing innervation with something like caffeine or sugar, processed sugar, or these energy drinks?
Yeah, I mean, suppression is never a good thing. We always want to express what we have within us and allow the body to, you know, express the symptoms that it's giving you, because those are really just warning signs. If we're tired, if we have a low amount of nerve energy, as they call it, you know, we're going to feel fatigued. And if we use stimulants like caffeine or, you know, drugs or anything like that, you know, we're just covering up those warning signs that the body is trying to give us. So the more that we, you know, suppress with stimulants and drugs and whatever else, you know, the more that issue that's been going on, the body is trying to warn us about, is going to get, you know, more intense, and it's going to just continue to grow. And that's when we start moving towards what Jeanette was just talking about, the C word. And yeah, so it's really important to pay attention to the warning signs that the body gives us. You know, it's like nobody would want to have a fire alarm or a smoke detector to, you know, have like a 10-minute delay so that you could sleep a few minutes longer. If your house is on fire, right? You would want to know right away, and you would want to take immediate action. So you don't want to suppress the symptoms that your body is giving you so that you can enjoy doing the things that are, you know, harming the body and causing those issues. Even if we enjoy it, you know, we're a strange species like that. We like to try and get away with as much as we can. And
take the easy route.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Take the easy route, take the most pleasurable route, the most immediately pleasurable route, I would say. You know, so it's just really important to stay away from suppressing symptoms. Let the body express what it's trying to express, and take note of that and take action on that. So that's what I would say.
Yeah, I love your analogy of the alarm. It's almost like we take better care of our houses and our cars than we do of our body. You know, if your car had the engine light on or whatever, I don't have a car yet, but you know, there's a light that goes on, a warning light, some type of warning, you would immediately bring it to the shop, and you would get it fixed, and you would figure out what's going on. The first stage of disease is low energy, and specifically, okay, loss of appetite. And the reason why we stop feeling hungry when we are starting to form disease is because the body needs a lot of energy for digestion. And that's probably, Matt, what would you say the percentage of energy, like, so digestion takes up what kind of percentage in the body would you say?
Yeah, they typically say about 80%. So
Wow.
it's a pretty significant amount, yeah.
So 80% of your energy is going to digestion. So if you stop being hungry, that is a very clear warning sign that the machine that is running needs help. It's a warning. It's warning you, okay? When you have a fever, which we're going to get into number 2, which is toxemia. When you have a fever, okay, which is toxemia, you are not going to be hungry, most likely, okay? Yeah, Daniel, I can't believe 80% as well, but I've read that before, and it's so true, because when you start eating healthy, you feel so much more energy, so it's obvious. So if you're not hungry, please, this is a great time to eat light, eat fruit, do, you know, lots of cleansing things like fruit and smoothies and juices. Okay, Matt, so let's talk about toxemia now, which is the second stage. And by the way, somebody wants to know stage 4, Matt, and it's just like, I'm not going to tell you stage 4 because that's the easy way out. Listen, we're trying, you got to wait until stage 4. And you know, I love what Matt said. I always say hard now, easy later. You're going to take the easy way now, you're going to have a hard future.
Yeah.
Gotta take, it wasn't easy, right, Matt, for you to change your diet completely.
Right. Yeah. I mean, it took me, I transitioned over a year and, you know, educating myself and, you know, going through the ups and downs of learning how to make it work. So yeah, it wasn't easy, especially, you know, there's so many aspects to getting healthy. You got to deal with the social aspects and people giving you their opinions and, you know, the carnivores yelling at you and, you know, all the other things going on and trying to figure out, you know, a way of life that is different than everybody else and all the mainstream sources of information that are talking to you. So yeah, it's difficult, but the best things come from the biggest challenges, I believe.
Absolutely. Alino said that in the last 10 days of being plant-based, they have had the energy to make YouTube content every single day. And that is exactly why I eat this diet. Honestly, it's because I can be so much more productive when I'm not so lethargic from eating, you know, processed food, meat, and dairy. I can't possibly be online changing the goddamn world, okay? Getting on carnivores' nerves if I'm tired all the time. You're not going to be able to live your truth and live your purpose here on earth. Speak your truth and live your purpose. Step into your destiny if you're tired. I think the number one thing, Matt, for success is energy. Do you agree? Like,
yeah, definitely. I mean, yeah, if you don't have energy, you're not going to have the you know, motivation to do anything. You're going to just want to sit on the couch.
Yes, and Daniel says I'm very wise. I agree. Okay, number 2 is toxemia. Thank you. Toxemia, Matt. So what are some things, in your opinion, that cause toxic overload? And what are some symptoms first? Sorry.
Sure. Yeah, symptoms. I mean, I think most people can relate to having, just like we just talked about, low energy. You know, that would be one symptom of, you know, toxemia. Another one would be, you know, if you get sick often, if you get coughs and sore throats and fevers and flu-like symptoms. These are all signs that the body is trying to eliminate something because you are, you know, your toxic load is getting a little too high. You know, if you're constipated, you're going to be, that's a sign that your body is innervated. You know, when innervation, we just talked about, you know, it's the loss of energy. And that's not just the energy that we have to go out and like play and do the things we want to do. That is the bodily systems also that are going to be low on energy. So your body won't be able to eliminate as efficiently as it wants to. And when it can't eliminate, because everything that we do not eliminate, we accumulate, right? So if you accumulate a lot of the waste products that the body would normally try and get rid of, you're going to have, you know, toxemia. You're going to have an overload of toxic material in your blood and in your tissues. So it's just really important that we are, again, paying attention to those signs. If we're constipated, you know that you're not eliminating the waste efficiently. If you're dehydrated, your body might be using up a lot, maybe you have a fever, there's a lot of different things that we can look at that are just signs of having too many toxins in the body. Yeah, so definitely make sure you pay attention to what I call my, actually, I don't, I have a name for it, but it's basically just my morning routine where I, make sure that I work on my eliminative organs and kind of prime them for the day ahead so that my body can eliminate and keep my toxic load as low as possible.
Yeah, Eleno, I'm also taking notes. Everything that we do not eliminate, we accumulate. I'm taking notes, guys. I suggest you do as well. Not just leave it in the comments. Get a journal for your health. I keep a journal of things that I learn every single day, studying what health is, because we've got to do it ourselves. They're not going to tell us this stuff on the news. They're not going to tell us this stuff in school, and they're not going to tell us this stuff even if we go to school for nutrition or, medicine. Like, it's whatever. That's another episode. Okay, so thank you, Matt. I really love that. And also, it's funny because I have my dry brush next to me.
Nice.
I knew you would mention something about elimination because it's so important. Literally, it is the key to health, guys. I've been recently learning that health is determined mostly by elimination. That's why fruit works so good in the body. It eliminates the quickest. A great way also to help, if you don't feel like you can handle changing your diet right now, start somewhere. Matt has a great book, 21-day raw transformation program. And in the book, he talks about steps that you can take now. You don't have to wait until you can afford to be raw, or you can move to the tropics, or you can change your job so you can eat healthier. Get a dry brush, okay? And start dry brushing every single morning. This is going to help eliminate toxemia, okay? So I want to also give people one thing per stage, Matt, that they can do. So for stage 1, which is low energy, I would personally recommend that people stop consuming animal products. Okay, so I got that one. What's your number one tip for? Your tip? The one thing people can start to do to have more energy and get out of stage 1.
Well, I think the thing that most people neglect the most in our culture, and that is sleep. I would say get adequate sleep, because if you don't have sleep, that's how we recharge the body's nerve energy, which is how our body does all of its processes. So without proper sleep, we're going to be behind the 8 ball. We want to make sure we're doing that for ourselves.
Okay. I'm laughing because I don't sleep, and that's despite that, I'm in good health, but I could be better. I have a feeling healthier than me. So sleep. Okay, number 2 was toxemia. The number 1 thing that I would recommend to get out of stage 2, which is, Matt just described it. If you just joined us, go to the beginning, watch this from the beginning. For me, if you have a toxic overload, getting a colonic is the number 1 thing I would recommend to you. If you had any of those symptoms that Matt just said, okay, I would highly recommend you look into a gravity method colonic. Matt, what is one? I mean, Matt, you pretty much said your morning routine is how you defend against toxemia. What is one thing in your morning routine?
Well, you named one. That's a skin brushing, but also sweating is part of my morning routine, and sweating is key to having energy and eliminating toxemia and keeping the skin clean and healthy. So yeah, sweating would be a big one for me. If you can get in just a little bit of sweating in the morning, I think that'll make a big difference.
Yes, and that is so true. And in the morning, guys, if you don't do it in the morning, if I don't do it in the morning, it doesn't get done.
Me too.
No, Matt, I feel like you would work out anyway. You'd make it happen. No, Matt seems like he's on top of things. He's disciplined. Okay, so now, Daniel, we're moving on to stage 3, but I just want to say, he said there's nothing like a gravity method colonic in where he lives. Travel, bro. do what you have to do. Do what.
You'd be surprised. There's quite a few, all over the country. So near Chicago, I bet there's one around there somewhere.
Make it happen. Trust me, you won't regret it. Number 3 is irritation. The third stage of disease, okay? And disease does not just mean the C word. Are we allowed to say? I don't even know.
I don't either.
Okay, I'm just going to say the C word and not that other one. I mean, not see you next Tuesday. Okay, so basically, number 3, this episode, irritation is number 3. And basically, I wanted to just let everybody know that our skin, I learned last night studying for this episode, that our skin has over 4 billion pores.
Wow.
Whoa. Yeah, Matt. Matt learned something, finally. Okay. So our skin is the second organ of elimination. Our colon is the first, of course. And so when we have irritation of the skin, or any type of irritation, okay, so itchiness is like a clear symptom of toxemia, of disease forming. Irritation can also be like your eye. I remember my best friend, Awa, right, the week before she got Bell's palsy, her eye was twitching really bad, and it never happened to her before like this. And she didn't know what was going on. It was happening actually for weeks. Her eye was irritating her. And one day she woke up, half of her face was completely numb. It's been 3 or 4 years now. 3 years. She's still recovering. She's still not back to normal. She still can't smile. It was a warning sign, but at the same time, it didn't happen in 3 weeks, right? Like, disease takes years, decades, okay? So people can live with irritation for decades. And before I let Matt talk, difficulty sleeping is another one. Being irritable is a sign of irritation. Bad breath, body odor. These are all normal things in our society, okay? Unless you come and live with me and Matt for a week. And then, you'll see that actually when you poop, it's not supposed to smell horrific.
Right.
When you wake up in the morning, your breath is not supposed to be disgusting. And so a lot of people are dealing with constant, I know I was dealing with constant skin issues, Matt. I had eczema, psoriasis, acne, constantly itching. And so can you tell us what happens? Here's my question for you. I know. This is a conversation, apparently. But now Matt, if you don't show up 1 week, I'll just run the whole live.
Oh, I have no doubt.
What happens, okay, when we go to a dermatologist and we get a cream or a prescription to stop the symptoms of irritation, okay, how does that work exactly? And what are the consequences of stopping the symptom?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's again, that's just kind of what we have become accustomed to in this culture is, to suppress the symptoms. What happens is, what I believe is that we are introducing new toxins into the body that the body now has to deal with. And so those symptoms that it was originally trying to warn you with, now it's going to put those to the side, and now it's going to start working on this additional toxic load that's just been introduced into the body. And so that is one reason why we can think that we're doing something good for ourselves when we get rid of those symptoms. Now we feel more comfortable. Now we're not so, irritated or whatever from those symptoms. We think that we just took care of the issue. But what happens is now that the toxins that your body was trying to, give you an awareness of, or a condition within you that needed to be addressed, now you don't address it. So it's going to, again, it's going to grow. It's going to get worse. It's going to irritate your cells and tissues even more until, down the line, it's now a new issue. And we think it's a new separate issue, but really it's the same issue. It's just grown. It's just gotten worse. And so, when you put a cream on the skin, you got to think about the skin is our largest eliminative organ. Like Jeanette just said, what'd you say, 4 billion pores that we have?
Over 4
Over 4
billion.
billion. My goodness. Yeah, so over 4 billion pores, those are there for a reason. You know, we want to make sure we're keeping those clear so that the body can release carbon dioxide, can release toxic waste, heavy metals, all these different things that we release through our pores, and let the body eliminate the metabolic and environmental toxins that we have within our bodies. And so, yeah, you put a cream on there. What's that going to do? It's going to clog the pores. Those creams are a lot of times probably full of endocrine disruptors and other hormones that are going to affect our endocrine system and could potentially cause some issues down the line. And yeah, it's just these creams, the creams. Listen, I was put on creams because I myself had eczema and really bad, dry, itchy skin throughout my childhood. And thankfully, a pharmacist came to my mom and told her, you got to stop putting those cortisone creams on your son because that's going to really mess him up. Because she was, you know, the doctor continued to write the prescription over and over. And the pharmacist thankfully came in, stepped in and told her, you know, you got to take another route because you can't use those things for long periods of time or it's going to cause some issues. But yeah, so you got to be careful with these medicated creams and other things that we put on our skin because, you know, what I say is if you can't eat it, if you wouldn't eat it, don't put it on your skin because when you put it on your skin, you're essentially eating it. You will absorb it. And so, yeah, that would be my advice.
Yeah, I love it. That makes a lot of sense. And yeah, what you said is probably the reason why a lot of people go to stage 5. Wait, stage 4. Oh yep. No. It's 12:30. We're only on stage 4. It's literally time to Q&A. Oh, okay. Let's just get through to stage 7 because people have been waiting for stage 4.
Yeah, the last few will go pretty quick.
Okay, yes. So, no, I mean, this is great information. I'm taking notes. I want to do a whole episode on the endocrine system because I don't know much about it, and I want to learn. And, okay, so stage 4 is inflammation. Okay, so pain is actually our friend. Pain is a very misunderstood friend because pain, stage 4, remember, the first 4 stages are still easily reversible. I know it's hard to hear when you're in pain. I know. But trust me, stage 1 through 4 can be reversed through simple, consistent actions. Things that you can find in my course. Okay. I have a new course called How to Be a Healthy Raw Vegan. We go through 6 weeks and we go through all the stages of disease and what you can specifically do to get out of it. Okay. Matt also has, I mean, he didn't know that he wrote this, but basically Matt wrote a guide to get out of each stage of the 7 stages of disease. It's called the 21-Day Transformation Program. Check it out in the link below. If you're on YouTube, go to Matt's link in his bio. Check it out. You can get the hard copy or you can get the ebook. But stage 4 is inflammation, pain. Okay, pain is clearly the biggest and most uncomfortable warning sign because itchiness and irritability and constipation, you can live with that for 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 years. Yeah. You can live with that. Honestly, Matt, I can tell that a lot of these carnivores are extremely, extremely irritated. Yeah. And they're going to probably live with that until they go to, you know, through all the stages of disease. And so pain protects us. It gives us a warning sign. And pain is clearly, it's a sign that the cleaning and the healing mode is happening in the body. So we don't want to say pain is a bad thing. Pain is our friend. And it's giving us something to work with. There's a part of your body that is overloaded, okay, that needs love and help. And I'm not going to get too woo-woo, but something recently I learned, okay, when you have pain, obviously you want to change what's causing the pain, right? So if you're eating junk food, processed food, that's most likely a big part of causing the pain. But if you're not sure, okay, if you have no idea what's going on or where to start, touch the part of your body that is causing the pain. Okay, if it's like a mystery pain, you have no idea, you're not drinking, you're not smoking, you're not eating meat, you're not eating processed food, hold your hand on where the pain is, and I want you to say, I love you, thank you, I'm sorry, please forgive me. This is a very famous meditation, Ho'oponopono, I believe. It's from Hawaii, and they actually do this in Tibet in hospitals, and they do this, monks do this over the patients. I love you. Thank you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Energy is real. And a lot of us are dealing with things that nobody knows what the diagnosis is. Okay. Right. And so, so Matt, okay. So pain, what would you do if you woke up tomorrow? You're a raw vegan. You're perfect. You know, like me, you are perfect in every way. And so, what would you do if you woke up tomorrow and you had some pain somewhere? What would you do?
Yeah, good. So while you were talking, I was thinking, you know, pain is like, it's kind of like a drill sergeant, you know, it's more than a friend, you know, you don't really want to hang out with this pain for too long. So it's like, pain is your friend in a way, but I wouldn't want to hang out with them for an extended amount of time. It's more like somebody that really gets you in gear and gets you moving.
It's your David Goggins friend. That's what I mean.
David Goggins, exactly. He's going to kick your ass until you do what you need to do to get rid of that pain. So yeah, what I would do, I would do a lot of what you just said, you know, really it's about being present with yourself and your body, and becoming aware of what you have been doing. You know, for me, you know, it would be kind of alarming because, you know, I feel like I do as much as I can to, you know, prevent that sort of thing. But one, I would probably hydrate myself a little more, see if that could help. I would, you know, exercise. It depends on what the pain was. You know, obviously, if it was like a sore knee, I wouldn't exercise. But, you know, I would just really, the pain is there to make you become aware. So I would really I would probably meditate is what I would do, and try and become aware of what I have been doing recently. You know, what my environment has been like. Have I been around, you know, some plug-in, some air freshener, or have I been around somebody that was wearing perfume? Did I just eat something that I don't normally eat? You know, things like that. So I really just try and become present. I would sit down, meditate. I would think about, you know, what I've been doing, and, you know, just try and make an educated guess on what that is. You know, maybe I would do an enema. Maybe I, you know, needed to clear out something. It really, yeah, it's just about troubleshooting in the moment and doing your best to have an awareness of your own actions and your surroundings. Yeah, what would you do?
Yes, I'm glad you asked. I was going to tell you anyway. If I woke up with any type of immediate like pain, whether that's in my throat, my eye, my stomach, my chest, whatever, I would get a colonic. That's the first line of defense for me. And actually, that's how it was in America, maybe throughout the world before 1910, before Big Pharma. Every doctor's office had a colonic machine. I don't know this for a fact because I wasn't there, but I've read this, okay? So it makes sense to me. They didn't treat the patient until they figured out what exactly was wrong. And if it was a toxic overload, well, then they didn't need to treat the patient with drugs. And by the way, drugs make the symptoms go away, not the problem. If you suppress the symptoms, but still have the problem, you will make it to stage 5. And so stage 5 is where it gets very, very difficult to reverse, okay? Pay attention to your pain and start taking action now, because stage 5, okay, so stage 4 is the most important time to change. And a lot of us are living with pain, Matt. Like, have you ever lived with pain extensively, or know someone who has lived with pain for years and years and years?
Oh yeah, definitely. I have family members that have, you know, arthritis and things like this. So personally, thankfully, I haven't, other than emotional pain that I lived with throughout my teenage years and early 20s. But physical pain, not so much personally, but yes, I do know many people. I think you could, you know, pick anybody out in a crowd in the United States, and, you know, probably 8 out of 10 people would be living with some sort of physical pain that they are not addressing, that they might believe is old age, or just, you know, the process of, you know, it's a normal thing that we just have to go through. But thankfully, that is not true. We don't have to get all these aches and pains as we grow older. But yeah, how do you have, I guess, have you, you know, lived with pain for a while?
Yes, I have. And me personally, yes, I lived with, you know, before I went raw, I had mucus every single second of every day. I could not breathe. And I actually was considering getting like I thought it was a deviated septum. So I almost got that like surgery. Okay.
Yep.
It's going to be like a lot of money. And I was like scared of having anesthesia. So I didn't get it. Turns out I needed to change my diet, but I didn't know. And I could never breathe. And I just was constant. And I was like, well, this is me. Also, I've dealt with bloating my entire life. And I just thought, honestly, my mom is, you know, has a big stomach. My grandma's overweight. This is I thought it was my family's genetics, which, you know, could possibly play into it. But that doesn't mean that we're not supposed to be in beautiful, amazing health. You know, health is natural. And I don't think people realize that. A lot of people think that no, illnesses and these, you know, livable symptoms, like
Yep.
what I'm going to try to say, Matt, these things that we live with,
Yeah.
they are natural and it's part of life. There's always something. No, health is natural. The body was designed to thrive. What's up, Justin? Thank you for being here. I love Justin. He always joins my lives. Okay, let's go to stage 5. Okay, so stage 5 is ulceration.
Nice. Can I just, you reminded me. See, I think the longer we go without pain, we forget some of the things that we did experience. I mean, I grew up with asthma, you know, that was very painful, you know, not being able to breathe. So I just want to throw that in there. Yeah, there are things that I did live with for many years. And through this lifestyle and through my diet change and everything, yeah, just like you, I was able to resolve that.
I was living with so many other things, Matt. Migraines, eczema, psoriasis all over my body, acne, indigestion, constipation, severe constipation. And I was like, well, I'm going every other day. It's better than people going once a week. I hear these crazy stories. Like, I can't even imagine what that's like. Ulceration is number 5, guys. Ulceration is an extremely painful stage. Okay. And so, you know, obviously this is the stage where most people go in, like it's an emergency at this point. Most people go in for surgery. Matt, can you just talk real quick about the dangers of going under the knife and having body parts removed?
Yeah, I mean, it just seems like it should be so obvious that, you know, the body was designed with everything that it needs to function optimally. But we're taught that we can just remove different organs and glands and things. And that's, you know, like they're just wasted tissue. Like we don't actually need them. You know, tonsils, the appendix, the gallbladder, all these different things. People just believe that, you know, they can have it removed and that's going to fix the problem. So if somebody has, you know, inflammation in their gallbladder, they're having gallbladder attacks, the doctor will just cut that out, you know, you'll be fine, cut it out, now you're good. No, that's not how it works, because now just another part, like you got to realize the reason for the inflammation in there wasn't because the gallbladder was faulty in itself, you know, it's what was happening to it through our actions and through our lifestyle. And so now that the gallbladder's gone, you know, on top of all the drugs that you have to go through under the, you know, when you go into surgery and all the recovery time and all the, you know, other risks that are involved with that sort of a thing, you're going to have to deal with the missing organ, because the body will have to compensate You know, thankfully the body is amazing and it can compensate, you know, to some degree without some of these different body parts, but it's not going to be optimal. And you're also going to, you know, have inflammation showing up in now another area. So it doesn't go away just because we cut out something from our body. It's just going to show up in another way. So I think that we need to get out of that mindset where, you know, we can just cut it out, or we can take a pill or take a potion for it. We have to address why. We have to address that root cause and figure out what is causing the irritation, what is causing the innervation, what is causing the ulceration. You know, all these different things are a consequence of our actions. Every action has a consequence. And so if we're dealing with pain or inflammation or whatever else, we have to look at what we are doing that is causing that consequence.
Yeah, first of all, did you say rut? And you was that how you say root?
Root? Oh, root?
I didn't hear that, Matt. I heard that. Is that in Minnesota? Is that Minnesota?
It might be. It might be.
Okay, sorry. Sherry, you are not screwed because, like Matt just said, the body is absolutely incredible. So yes, you have to probably take a little more care of yourself than most people, right? Yep. But you're already doing that. So I know you're on the treadmill right now. I know you are doing that already. So you are probably in better, you know, Sherry is in better health. Somebody who has had surgery, but is taking care of themselves, eating properly, getting exercise, detoxing, thinking better thoughts, doing meditation, is way 20 steps ahead of somebody with all their organs, with all their, you know, without surgery. So watch your mouth, okay? Your words are putting a spell on your life. New Yorker making fun of your accent. Yeah, okay. So basically, step 6, because we're clearly not going to get to the Q&A. And that's okay. It is what it is. We're in charge, so we do whatever we want. Yeah. Stage 6, okay? So after ulceration is stage 6, which is induration. And one thing before we go on to stage 6, you know, itis at the end of every disease, bronchitis, arthritis, all these itises, okay? Itis just means inflammation of that area. There's only one disease, and that is toxemia, okay? Right, Matt?
I agree, yeah.
Toxemia causes inflammation of every organ in the body. And what Matt said is exactly correct. When you remove an organ of the body, that toxemia starts to build in another fucking organ. I'm sorry, Matt, but I'm fucking upset. I'm really passionate because this is so unfair what is going on with innocent humans that go into their doctor for help. And the doctors don't fucking know. Yeah. Don't know what to do. And so they're like, well, you have itis of whatever, and so we've got to get rid of that organ. Nothing could be more backwards and insane, and it like literally makes my whole entire body hurt. It makes all my organs hurt. Like thinking seriously about someone going to a trusted medical professional and getting the advice of cutting out, you know, a part of their body. And, you know, people get, what is it called when you have inflammation of the lymphatic system?
Inflammation of the lymphatic system?
Yeah. Like a nodule that has been inflamed.
Well, there's, oh gosh. Let me think here.
There's a name for it, but either way, what happens is all the toxic, you know, your body's working, right? So there's like specific parts of our lymphatic system that accumulate all the toxins closer. Matt's trying to research shit. Okay, so listen. So guys, while Matt is researching, there's parts of your body where the lymphatic system collects all the toxins under your arms, okay? So deodorant might not be the best solution, stopping the, you know, the sweating out of the toxins. Right here, behind your knees, your chest, the back of your neck, which is often known as the control, like the circuit breaker of your body. I don't know if you guys knew that, but the back of your neck is a very important part of your body. It's like your circuit breaker. Make sure to pay close attention, massage the back of your neck, use a dry brush. Matt seems to have gotten the answer.
It looks like SEIA. Oh, I mean, what I see is lymphadenitis. I've actually never heard that term.
Yeah, that I never knew the term until recently. So thank you. So basically what doctors do is when you have all the toxins that have been collected there, instead of helping you get on a healthy regimen, okay, instead of getting you to sweat every day, eat healthier, you know, drink more water, do all these different amazing, natural, easy things, the doctor removes that gland. The doctor removes that lymph node. And it's like, well, of course the toxins are going to go to the next lymph node. And that's what O.J. Simpson had. He had a lymph node removed. And it's like, I don't know if he suffered. I'm sure he suffered. I don't know about him, but I know that he thought it was breast cancer. It wasn't. It was full, you know, his lymphatic system was full with toxins. Long story short is Induration is stage 6. I don't know where I was going, Matt, but thank you for looking that up. Induration is stage 6. This is the last stage of the body while the cells are still under control. Okay, it's the last stage that the body's still in control of the cells. The body is quarantining the toxins in the lymphatic system, in the lymph nodes. Okay, and so at this stage, the body's in control. And so, you know, obviously when you have cancer, your body's not in control anymore. The cells have gone wild. Okay, like Girls Gone Wild, but not as fun. The cells have gone wild and uncontrollable. And so now, Matt, what would you recommend to someone who is in the state? And by the way, a lot of people in stage 6 are diagnosed with cancer. It's not cancer. A lot of people are misdiagnosed, like O.J. Simpson and many other people, many other celebrities and people. They don't have cancer, but it looks like it, so the doctors just treat it as such. What are some things that you would recommend to somebody who might have been diagnosed with cancer, might be in stage 6, which is a very, very serious stage? Like, what is like the first thing that you would do or you would tell a loved one to do?
Yeah, so if they're in induration, which, yeah, like you said, it's hardening of the tissue, so it's going to start to harden and start to kind of blockade some of that. It's like a scarring, you know, so it's like it's there to protect what's going on as much as it can before it gets to stage 7. What I would do, and honestly, I would do this through any of the stages, but it's especially as important in the induration stage. You know, you want to obviously want to look at this holistically. You know, if it were me, I would be taking a completely holistic approach. I wouldn't just be doing one thing, but I would definitely be alkalizing my body. You know, we want to alkalize the body because when we're acidic, we are going to have more coagulation. The fluids are going to be thicker. There's going to be more toxemia going on. You want to create more of a catabolic state, which is the alkaline state. It's more loose and flowing. When you get more acidic, you're more anabolic. So you're building things, you're coagulating things. So alkalizing the system as much as you can with your diet and lifestyle. Now, you know, of course, that doesn't mean just eating fruits and vegetables, but that is a huge part of it. That would be the foundation, is eating hydrating, colorful, polyphenol-rich, antioxidant-rich fruits and vegetables so that I'm getting in the antioxidants, I'm getting in the enzymes, I'm getting in the hydration, you know, all those components from the fruits and vegetables so that my body can start to utilize that in, you know, doing what it needs to do to start eliminating some of the blockages and some of that hardened tissue. All right, so then I would look at my emotional state because that has a lot to do with how our hormones are going to be acting, and hormones are always a big part of any condition. You want to make sure that you have balanced hormones, and to do that, you want to make sure that you are in a calm parasympathetic state so that your body has a chance to go into that rest and digest and heal state, right? So that is another big part of it. I would look at my mental state, start to meditate. I would start to, you know, distance myself from any sources of stress, whether that's people or a job or, you know, whatever, as much as you can. Obviously, you know, we got to do what we got to do. But when we're in, especially in the induration state, you know, you really have to put yourself first. You really got to take charge and do what you got to do to separate yourself from really the toxic parts of your life. And again, meditation, you got to become aware of which parts of your life are toxic, because a lot of people are going around thinking that what they're doing is normal. You know, you're in a bad relationship, you think, yeah, that's just life. That's what I'm supposed to, you know, that's just how it is. Nope. You got to get out of that bad relationship. You got to, you know, do everything you can to get onto a frequency of love. So everything has frequency, you know, hate, anger, jealousy, bad relationships. These are all low frequencies. Cancer, the C word, is a low frequency vibration. So you want to get around, you know, happy people, positive people, have your own happy thoughts, be positive towards yourself, know that you can heal, eat those fruits and vegetables. They're at a high frequency as well. Get out into nature. You know, that's another big thing that I would personally do.
Okay. Don't give too much, Matt. So
Too
guys,
much.
get the book. Get his book. Okay, Matt's giving away all the secrets. Okay, just come on, calm down now. Okay, you gave me so much. First of all, amazing answer. Like, amazing. Honestly, that could be a book, and it is. It's called the 21-Day Transformation Program. Seriously, check it out, guys, because I don't make any money by recommending it, but I have been recommending it to all of my clients, honestly, and everyone that wants to make a real significant change in their life. We're going to answer 2 questions, but before we do, I just want to say a few things about what Matt said, because it triggered a lot of things. But like, such an amazing answer. And yeah, you're right. A lot of us are in toxic relationships, not only with other people, but with ourselves. A lot of us are in a toxic relationship with ourselves as well. CELLS. And we are telling ourselves negative things. I can't do this. I'm addicted. I'll always be addicted to junk food. My family makes it impossible for me to eat healthy. I don't have time to work out. I don't, whatever it is. I'm not worthy. I don't have time for myself. It doesn't matter. It's too late. I'm too old. I'm too fat. I'm too sick. Are you in a toxic relationship with yourself? Because it's very important that you start the healing process, which what Matt just described is meditation, positive thinking, listening to positive audio, you know, putting on some of our mentors like Tony Robbins, Jim Rohn, Les Brown, positive, uplifting messages of hope. And that is what, if you're negative all the time, you've got to change your input, because your input is most likely negative. You've got to change the input to get a better output. I also wanted to agree with you, Matt, that it's 50% diet and lifestyle, 50% emotional. This is something I never believed until I got sick eating a 100% perfect diet. Okay, I never dealt with my emotions. I never cared about emotions. Emotions make you weak. That's what my mentors say, some of them. And unfortunately, they all got sick, my mentors, I'm sure. If they haven't said it publicly in their personal lives, I'm sure they have, because our emotions are very important to dealing with disease and pain and illness. The first thing I would do, by the way, if I was in stage 6, okay, I would take a deep breath. So everybody just take a deep breath. Okay, I would take a deep breath, because it takes 10 to 20 to 30 years to get to stage 6. Okay, it doesn't happen overnight. It doesn't happen overnight. That's why a lot of people as a teenager and in their 20s can eat total shit and be in amazing health and feel great and be athletes and be singers and celebrities and just doing so much stuff and have so much energy. Some of us are more sensitive than others. You know, like I was definitely not able to thrive on a meat-based processed food diet. I was actually on a very healthy meat-based diet. I would eat no processed food, no junk food, lean chicken, fish, eggs, and vegetables, I was not thriving. I had chronic fatigue, migraines, acne, digestion issues, constant bronchitis. So I'm very sensitive to animal products, but some people can eat them for a certain amount of time. So it takes 10 to 20 to 30 years to get to stage 6. So take a deep breath. There is never an emergency surgery that's needed. There's never a time when you need to take action immediately. Okay, as a contrary to what the medical industry will make you believe, that you need surgery today. That is a freaking joke. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna keep it PG. Acid makes the blood thicker. I did not know that, Matt. So thank you for that. Okay, so I wrote a lot of notes, but we don't have time to go over my notes. Now we have two. Thank you, everyone, for being here. Wow, we got a lot of people. We had 30 people a few seconds ago, so I appreciate that, guys. Wow, thank you for being here on a Saturday, learning about your health. And you know what? By the way, if you're watching this, I want you to just take a second to pat yourself on the back. Yeah, if you're in this live or if you're watching this, because do you even realize how rare you are, that you are actually going to take your health and your life into your own hands? Like, you're not a victim, and that is so rare. And I truly, truly want you to feel good about that decision. If you're watching this, like, you are very rare. And so please be very proud of yourself. Tessa, thank you for being here. I know you're taking your health into your hands for sure. For sure. Okay. We got a question, Matt. We got a question. My name is Aisha. Aisha, maybe. Well, how do you feel? Let me know how to say that name. How do you feel about the Dr. Sebi diet, Matt? Do you recommend it? Do you follow it? What are your thoughts on Dr. Sebi's recommendations?
Yeah, to be honest, I need to get more familiar with his recommendations. I know of him, of course. I'm pretty sure, from what I understand, he's pretty similar to Arnold Ehret's line of thinking, I believe. I know he's more into like the staying away from hybrids and eating whole foods, obviously. I think he's more into like the heirloom version of foods. So I think it's good. I don't see anything wrong with it. Again, I haven't looked into it that closely, but it is something that I want to look into. So maybe I'll have to answer that in a future live.
Aisha, sorry, I was trying to pronounce her name. Aisha, thank you, Aisha. I appreciate you being here. Thank you for asking the question. So perhaps you can help us understand more about Dr. Sebi's diet, because I have not studied it particularly, although I do know more than Matt about it and about most things, clearly. Yeah. Clearly, but clearly not. Okay, so yeah, Dr. Sebi, personally, Aisha, don't hate me. I love you, boo. But I am not a fan of his recommendations. I'm a fan of him. He has amazing information. He's clearly one of the leaders in the health food industry, in the health industry. He was definitely killed. Okay, we know that. So if you are killed before your time, we know you were a leader. We know you were a pioneer.
Yeah.
However, I have issues with his diet. I know a lot of my clients in the past, not so many recently, but they have been on Dr. Sebi's diet and they haven't been able to maintain it because it is so restrictive in certain regards. First of all, Dr. Sebi recommends agave. Agave, in my research and opinion, is not a health food. It's not raw. And it doesn't matter if it's raw, because I think some things that are not raw are healthy, like sweet potatoes and steamed broccoli. I think these are healthy things. Agave is what they make tequila out of, and agave spikes our blood sugar. Agave is not safe for diabetics. I don't believe agave is a health food. Matt, what are your views on agave? Do you eat it?
100%. No, I don't eat it. I completely agree with everything you said.
Yes, just perfect answer. Sherry, yeah. Matt, learning. Perfect answer. By the end of episode 1, Matt learned how to make this work.
Quick.
Okay, number 2, Dr. Sebi doesn't let you eat garlic or pineapple or broccoli or all these different things because they're hybrids. So Matt, you were right. He's very into the heirloom, non-hybridized fruits. And perhaps Dr. Sebi was right. Can I be raw vegan? Can I be healthy in a world where I can't eat every fruit and vegetable? No. I'm coming from a restrictive, disordered eating past. I can't be restrictive and be healthy. I've learned that. I have to be able to eat all the fruit and vegetables possible. Now, was Dr. Sebi, was he right? Maybe. I don't know. Also, there's other things that he doesn't believe in. I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, Aisha, okay? I believe he doesn't believe in colonics. Correct me if I'm wrong, please, because I don't know why, but I feel like he doesn't. My best friend did Dr. Sebi herbs when she first got Bell's palsy, and I was trying to convince her, I think, to get a colonic, which she did, but then I think she didn't get any more because of Dr. Sebi. I have a problem with that if he's not into colonics. That really bothers me because I know for a fact that colonics have healed me so much and so many people I know. Elimination is key. Elimination, which, by the way, Arnold Ehret is one of my mentors. Arnold Ehret knows that elimination is key. So I don't believe Arnold Ehret is as strict as Dr. Sebi, but yeah, they probably have some similarities, but I've studied Arnold Ehret, and let's do a whole episode on the mucusless diet, Matt, because I'm obsessed with that. Yeah, no broccoli, no pineapple, no garlic, no, who knows, lots of other things. And it's no seedless fruit. Okay. Last thing I'll say, Matt, because I know I gotta let you go. You're busy saving the world, so I know I could only have an hour of your time. So basically, I have a major problem with Dr. Sebi's diet because all the people I meet, he doesn't allow you to eat fruit without seeds. And yes, in an ideal world, me and Matt and everyone would be living on our own fruit farms in the tropics, having amazing, delicious, meals every day together in nature, growing our own food, right? Okay, of course. So the problem I have with the Dr. Sebi followers is that I've never seen someone on a Dr. Sebi diet that can do it long-term and that doesn't go back to junk food. I know a lot of people that try to follow Dr. Sebi and it's so goddamn restrictive, Aisha. They go back to eating meat, dairy, or processed junk food, processed vegan food. That's not for me. I'm here for the long haul. Okay, contrary to the carnivores that tell me my health is going to fall apart any minute now and I'm going to eat meat. Trust me, trust me, I'll be back to meat. It's been 12 years since I've eaten a dead animal's body part. I will never, I put my life on that. I put Matt's life on that.
Thank you.
I will never, ever put another dead animal body part into my mouth ever again. And, Dr. Sebi's diet is too restrictive. If I can't eat seedless fruit sometimes, and yes, I prefer seeded fruit, of course, but I eat seedless fruit all the time because that's just what I have to do to maintain this lifestyle. So thank you for that question. And she did ask another one real quick about the herbs. Yes, herbs are key on Dr. Sebi, and it's very expensive. I'm not saying herbs are bad, though. Herbs are great, but it's very expensive. She did say, yes, it's super restrictive. I agree. I can't do it. I can't restrict myself from any fruit and vegetable. What do you use for sweetener? Great question. Fruit. Dates. Yep. Right, Matt? What do you use?
Yep. Dates. Dates, raisin.
Matt uses dates. Okay. Yeah. Do you use maple syrup, Matt?
Very rarely. It's not something that I probably use maybe a couple times a year, if that. So. Yes,
same. Me and Matt, that's why I can speak for you, Matt. I feel like we're twins. We're separated at birth, Matt. It's incredible.
I know.
We were born 12 years ago or 11 years ago, and we were separated at birth. Okay. Val asked, and this is the last question because unfortunately we have to go. We're both busy changing the world. We cannot stay live forever.
Next week, though. Next week.
You'll have to wait a whole week. Okay. Val_smile. I love your name. I hope you're still here. Val Smile. Everybody just smile. Because, by the way, that is telling your body a signal. That's giving your body a signal. So next time you're working out or doing something hard that you don't want to do, smile. That's a little tip from the Army. That's what they do. They make them like sing and smile while they're working out so that it tells their body they like this. So smiling more will help when you're making juice or smoothies or in the first step of your journey. And Val had a question on that. Val asked, what is the first thing that you would do to get started living a healthier lifestyle? I will answer this first, which is for sure. I mean, there's so many things. I would pick one aspect of your life, okay? I would say breakfast. Just start eating fruit for breakfast, okay? Don't try to change everything. You know, me and Matt have been doing this for so long now that it's easy for us, sure. Easy for somebody who's doing it for 11 years. But remember, Michael Jordan got kicked off his high school basketball team, okay? Because he hadn't practiced for 20 years. And once he did, he was Michael Jordan. And me and Matt are clearly the Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen of the raw food world. And so we've been doing it for so long that of course it's easy for us, no problem, only solutions. But you might be still addicted like we once were to processed food. It's okay. You're not bad or stupid, and it's not even your fault. It's not really your fault, right? Because I'm sure Matt will agree, there's things in the food that are just extremely addicting, that alter our brain chemistry to need these foods. I was there. So trust me, it's not your fault. And colonics helped with that as well, the cravings and getting out those chemicals. But which one is Scotty? Sherry, don't ask silly questions. We don't have time. We don't have time for questions like that. So my first step would be breakfast, Val. I would say eat fruit until noon for the next 21 days. Any type of fruit you want, any amount of fruit you want, okay? So I would eat mangoes. That's what I'm going to eat for breakfast. Look how beautiful these mangoes are.
Perfect.
Like me. And now, Matt, what would you say? I mean, you've already given us so many first steps, though. If you had to say just one tangible thing that they could do.
Man, yeah.
No.
You took mine, actually. But if I were going to say another one,
Yes.
I would say education is so key. I would say get books and follow people online that are doing what you want to do. And then just immerse yourself in that information and learn from the people that have been doing this long term, that are doing it successfully, that look like they're doing it successfully, like Jeanette. And, you know, yes. And that's, I think education is one of the very, key things to making this an actual long-lasting, lifelong endeavor. So educate yourself. On top of what Jeanette said is eat fruit, throughout the first half of the day. And, the more educated you are with this, the less vulnerable you are to mis and disinformation. And you won't be so easily swayed off the path when you truly understand the human body, you truly understand health, you truly understand yourself and what your goals are. And so educate yourself and eat fruit. That is, I think, the best way to start.
Yeah. Oh, I love that, Matt. Mis and disinformation. Matt is so much better than I could say it. I always say eat fruit and stay cute. But Matt, clearly put it into more, like smarter words. But hey, both works. Now, it is 1:09. I am sorry, guys. I did extend it a tiny bit, but next week we'll get better at just keeping it to an hour because you have a lot of work to do. Okay, guys? We got work to do. If you're in any of these stages, we've got to get to work. Okay? And so I love what Matt just said. Getting educated is key. And just like sifting through the mis and disinformation. I'm going to start using that one, Matt. So Good. Okay. So now I appreciate you guys. I thank you so much. If you'd like to find out more information about I know there were some questions here about what exactly we eat in a day. We'll definitely do a whole episode on that. But I'm sure has a lot of those videos on his YouTube channel, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yes. Matt's been doing this a while, so he has lots of what I eat in a days. He has a book that I highly recommend, the 21-Day Transformation Program. Click the link in Matt's bio to check out all of his things, his free resources. And if you want to take it a step further, you can purchase his books. Again, with me, same thing. I have lots of free resources. So if you are not able to, you know, invest in your health right now financially, that's okay. We got you. Click the link in my bio. I have a free book. If you go to 100freerecipes.com, this book has over 100 raw, vegan, gluten-free, obviously, you know, healthy, easy, simple recipes that you can make without a dehydrator with 5 ingredients or less. And I talk in the book a lot about health, what I eat, why I eat what I eat, mono fruit meals, why fruit for breakfast is so key, all that stuff. So I highly recommend that book, 100freerecipes.com. And lastly, I have a course. It's called How to Be a Healthy Raw Vegan. Okay, so basically we do 6 weeks together. We spend the next 6 weeks together at your leisure. It's a video audio course, okay, that I highly recommend if you want to do coaching with me, because I currently don't have any spots for coaching. Okay, Matt, I don't know. Do you do coaching, Matt?
I do. I'm pretty limited on my availability right now, but yeah, if people want help, just reach out.
Yeah, reach out. Don't reach out to me because I have too many clients at the moment. Seriously, because of the carnivore thing, I've gotten a lot more clients and I don't have any more room for clients, but we can do the next 6 weeks together through this course. It's much cheaper than being coached by me. And I guarantee you it will change your entire life. We're going to go through the 6 steps for you to change, get rid of cravings, eliminate your health issues, all the things. Okay, so click the link below or click the link in my bio. Okay, Matt, I thank you so much. I'm finally going to let you go.
I appreciate it. It's always fun hanging out with you, always entertaining and educational. So thank you. And I'll see you next week.
Yes, I'll see you next week. And I'm Michael Jordan. Just so we're okay. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Stay out.